Hi guys, it's Andy here from Awesome 3D Prints again, and today we're going to be talking about nozzles. Nothing personal. These kind. Just want to find out really if the Creality nozzle is good enough. There are lots of upgrades on Thingiverse, lots of different types of nozzles, and I wasn't sure whether they were needed because I have been getting pretty good prints from my Creality, but if I can make it better, I'm always going to try and make it better. So I've printed off a few nozzles. We're going to give it a test print. I'll show you them printed, show you the little test afterwards, and talk through the results, and you can make your own mind up. Cheers guys, take care. Right then guys, so the first print I did was with the standard Creality fan duct, really is what it is. Printed pretty well, no real complaints. If you look at this is quite a good little test actually. I'll put a link in the description to this one. It tests a number of things. It tests bridging, it tests overhangs, it tests points, it tests retraction. It also tests the Z step and your X step calibration to make sure things are the right size. It's actually a really good little test. And with the default fan nozzle, it actually did pretty well. As you can see, up to 60, 70, 80, you can read all the numbers. Obviously the further up you get, the harder it is to read, but the real tell is on the reverse. This is where you can tell how much, at what degree you need supports. As you can see, the layers start to mess up around here, which is just about 60 degrees, thereabouts. So generally in the slicer you'd put a setting to put supports on from 60 degrees onwards. But like I say, generally it's pretty good. So no real fault there. So we'll print off a separate nozzle and we'll see what happens from there. Alright, see you in a bit. Okay, so this is printed now with a circular nozzle. Again, not too bad. Generally, for the most part, I don't think it's quite as good. If we bring the first one back in now, if you look at the overhangs again, it's printed all up to 80 without any issue. Quality-wise, very, very similar. If anything, slightly better on the number one, I'd say. The 70 is a bit clearer. 80. Again, slightly clearer, less pronounced ridges on this one. But if you flip it over again, that's where the key is. First and second, if you look, the layers mess up a lot worse, a lot lower on this one. So actually the second one, this one here, didn't cool as well as the standard Creality nozzle. So this one's a bit of a bust. But also I've noticed, look, it was touching the heater block as it was going. So it's actually melted the ABS. So that's definitely a no-go, guys. So that one, dead. So we're gonna go print another nozzle now and we'll try a different one. All right, catch you in a bit. Right, well this one's just printed. This one is very similar to the Creality original one in terms of design. It just blows from the one side. However, it's got more of a shaped nozzle, so you get more directional airflow blasted rather than just kind of wafted. And looking at it, it looks like it's got quite a bit of airflow, quite a good gap in there. So I'm fairly hopeful for this one. So we'll print another test and then we'll see what it's like when it's done. All right. Well, this one's printed. I peeled it off the bed a bit quick actually, so it's melted a little bit, but generally overall it's looking pretty good. The 40, 56, 70 is all perfectly readable. If we compare it to the first one, this is the one done with the standard Creality nozzle. Not a lot of difference between the two, to be honest. Looking at the numbers, they all look very, very close, so it's certainly as good as the Creality nozzle for the numbers. We'll flip it over and look at the thing on the back. Oh, actually, that's pretty good. I would say there's a slight improvement. They start to deform, probably at almost the same height. However, it seems to deform more on this one quicker. So I'd probably say the nozzle's slightly better than the standard Creality, nothing major. If you look at the bridging looks pretty good on both. Stringing wise, there's probably slightly less on this one. I did clean this up a little bit by mistake, but slightly less, and the points are pretty good too. But the big key here is this bit here where you see all the grooves. This one here on the first one, the last one is fused together because it's just too small for it to be able to cool quick enough. But on this one, there's actually still a very slight gap in there. So generally, I would say this nozzle is an improvement over the Creality, but only slightly. It's not a massive wow, look at the difference. It's just slightly better. So yes, it's worth doing because it doesn't cost much, a bit of ABS, and it's easy enough to fit. It's just literally 2 screws and it's off and on. So if you've got the time and you've got the ABS lying around and you want to give it a go, it's certainly worth a go. You won't notice a massive improvement, just a very, very slight one, I would have said. So there is one more nozzle left to print, so we'll print that one now and we'll see what the results are like with that one. Okay, back in a bit. Okay, so this is the last nozzle. I quite like the look of this one, to be honest. I think this bit might be a little bit flimsy, but ABS is pretty solid, so we're okay. But this one directs the flow straight down. It's got 3 big vents straight down in a semicircular, so you should get a bit more wrap around the nozzle rather than the standard kind of blow. It's a little bit thicker, a little bit lower, so I'm not entirely sure it will fit, but we'll give it a blast and see what happens. Right, see you in a bit. I'm going to show you this one on the printer because if I try and focus on there isn't an awful lot of gap between the heater block and the surround. There is a gap, but really not much of one at all. So in fact it's almost touching in one place. So I'm not entirely convinced that's going to do a fantastic job, but we'll give it a go and see what happens. Alright. Right, back again. No, this one was a total bust. It's too low. I mean, it just misses the bed. I mean, literally just. It did touch the print at one point at a certain angle, but that's only very slightly. It could be just the bed being slightly higher on one side, but I don't like this one. It's too definitely too close to the bed. Also, it was very nearly touching on this bit, very close. It wasn't, but it was so close that you know, it may even melt the ABS at that kind of temperature. So unfortunately that one's no good as well. So for a conclusion, generally yes, this one being the best nozzle that I've tried so far. It definitely was definitely as good, maybe slightly better than the Creality, and if you've got the time, it's worth printing off and checking out for yourself. I'll put links in the description down to all of these nozzles and the test print, and you can have a play yourself if you want to. But yeah, worthwhile upgrade. Cheers guys. If you like the video, you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe and tick the bell icon so you get notified when they're about. Have a good one.